The Golden Eaglets technical crew is on the hot seat. Charles will be telling us why, as well as other stories on Sports News.
You're spot on, Melinda. Welcome to Sports News. The Nigeria Football Federation says it will review the performance of the Golden Eaglets after the five-time world champions exited the 2019 FIFA Under-17 World Cup. The Netherlands ended the Golden Eaglets' quest for a record sixth title with a 3-1 defeat in the round of 16 of the competition. But the Football Federation says its Technical and Development Committee will decide on the fate of the technical crew led by Manu Garba, whose contract expired after the ouster. The NFF added that it's also working to ensure that all the entitlements of the coaches are paid. Meanwhile, Stéphane Sessegnon and Steve Mooney are the big names in the pack as Republic of Benin head coach Michel Dussier unveiled his 23-man list for next week's 2021 African Cup of Nations qualifier against the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Dussier sprung a few surprises in his roster, calling up only 14 members of the side that reached the quarterfinals at the last African Cup of Nations in Egypt. The Frenchman also called up Nigerian-born Jordan Adeoti and Jean Oguchi to the Squirrels' side. Benin will face Nigeria at the Goodwill Akpabio Stadium in Uyo next Wednesday in their first group match. And Super Eagles defender William Troost-Ekong has signed a new deal with Italian side Udinese that will keep him at the club until 2023. Troost-Ekong linked up with the Bianconeri last summer from Turkish outfit Bursaspor, penning a 4-year contract. The 26-year-old made 35 Serie A appearances for Udinese last season and was booked 4 times, helping the club to 12th position, and has made 9 league appearances for the club this season. He has won 38 caps with Nigeria and scored 2 goals for the Super Eagles. And now to the big continentals, and in the UEFA Champions League, Paris Saint-Germain have maintained a perfect record as they defeated Club Brugge to qualify for the round of 16. Real Madrid thrashed Galatasaray courtesy of a brace from Brazilian teenager Rodrigo and Frenchman Karim Benzema. Bayern Munich also booked their place in the last 16 as Robert Lewandowski and Ivan Perisic's goals saw them beat Olympiacos 2-0. South Korea international Hong Seo-min scored twice as Tottenham Hotspur remained within touching distance of the last 16. Douglas Costa came off the bench to score a fabulous late winner against Lokomotiv Moscow to send Juventus through to the last 16. And Nigeria's head coach Audu Adamu has listed veterans Abu Aziz and Victor Tale in his final squad of 12 for this month's FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup in Paraguay. Coach Adamu also named Emmanuel Owofera, Emeka Ogbonna, God's Power Igudia, Dami Poole and Taiwo Adams in the final roster. Other players in the squad include Godwin Tale, Osi Ekujimi, Babatunde Badmus, Godwin Iobe and Hamid Karim. The 2-time African champions are expected to depart from Nigeria for Paraguay on Friday to feature in an 8-nation invitational tournament starting on November the 12th. And now to table tennis. The possible relevance of African teams at the 2019 ITTF Team World Cup will be determined tomorrow as Nigeria faced Chinese Taipei in their last group match in the competition. Nigeria lost to world and Olympic champion China in the opening group game. Ma Long and Lin Gaoyuan edged out Omotayo Olajide and Abiodun Bode 3-1 in their first tie. In the second matchup, Liang Jingkun came out on top against Africa's #1 Haruna Quadri 3-0 to give the Chinese control over the tie. China made it 3 wins when Gao Yuan returned to beat Olajide 3-0 in the third match. A win for Nigeria over Chinese Taipei will guarantee them a place in the next stage of the competition. Well, that's it on Sports News, and it's back to Melinda with the rest of the news at 10.
Many thanks, Charles. And the main news again. Emergency operations continue today at the scene of the Lagos Island fire. Emergency officers blame the prolonged operation on the nature of the equipment and items stored in the building. Also today, the multinational oil giant Total sought to sell its stake in Nigeria's major oil field. And Democrats in the U.S. Congress today announced the first public hearing for next week in an inquiry that seeks to impeach President Donald Trump. That's the news at 10 tonight. I'm Melinda Akinlami on behalf of the team. Good night.